In today's video, I'm going to show you guys the difference between LCD TVs and OLED TVs when it comes to gaming, movies, and TVs. And if you're a big time gamer, stay locked in because later on in the video, I'll be showing you a new feature on LG OLEDs that's going to give you a competitive advantage in the games that you play, especially if you're somebody that plays FPS games. If you play any competitive games, you're not going to want to miss that. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel Tech with KG. Before I begin, I want to be upfront and let you know that this video is sponsored by LG. So I wanted to treat this more like an educational video and not a product review. I've already reviewed OLEDs in the past, and of course you guys know that I love this technology. So I won't be saying anything that I haven't said in the past in regards to complimenting the LG OLEDs. Working with LG has not changed my opinion on OLED technology one bit. Really quickly, for those that are new to OLED, it's really important to understand the difference between OLED technology and LCD technology. You see, most LCD TVs are made up of dimming zones or edge-lit dimming. In the case of dimming zones, oftentimes there's not enough dimming zones or they're just simply too large to make a big difference on the smaller highlights. This is where LG OLED comes into play. It uses a self-emissive technology where millions of pixels turn themselves completely off, resulting in that pure black look that you may have heard about from OLED TVs. This is what they call pixel level dimming. So when the screen is completely black, it actually looks like the TV is just shut off, because technically it is. There's no pixels actually on. Okay, so now that you know the difference between LCD TVs and OLED, let's get into some actual video clips that I took to show you guys the difference between these two technologies. On your left is the LG C1, and on your right is an LCD TV. In this first clip, we're going to look at Watch Dogs Legion. I want you to pay attention to the textures on the road and look at how they look on the OLED compared to the LCD. I believe this is one of the strengths of OLED technology for picture quality. Fine details are especially noticeable on darker objects, and you can really see images come to life, and they almost have a three-dimensional sense of depth to them. Also, look at how the night sky looks on the LCD TV on the right. It just has an over-brightened look to it. The OLED is definitely going to be hard to beat in any night scene, there's no doubt about it. This next clip is an example of the dimming from both TVs. This video is a fireworks display. Notice how the LCD TV is struggling to keep the screen completely black while maintaining bright specular highlights. OLED has no trouble with displaying the tiniest bright details and highlights like the sparks from these fireworks. Remember how I talked about pixel level dimming? Well, this is what is on display here on the OLED TV. Now moving into the star field, you notice how on the LCD TV you're seeing some blooming and the pure black sky is not being displayed as intended like it is on the OLED here. You'll also notice on the LCD TV you see less stars active in the star field due to the local dimming struggling to keep up. Again, OLED really shines in an example like this thanks to the self-emissive technology. Now before we compare even more, let's talk about gaming. This LG OLED was one of the smoothest gaming experiences I have ever felt while playing a fast-paced racing game like Dirt 5 in 120 frames per second in 4K on the Xbox Series X. And couple that with a pretty good sound system built into the TV, I almost felt like I was in the driver's seat at times, and it was really an immersive experience. The best thing about gaming on an OLED is that you have near instant response time, plus you get some of the best input lag in the business. So LG has a near instant response time of 0.1 milliseconds, which is pretty crazy because LCD TVs are somewhere between 3 milliseconds and 15 milliseconds on response time. So when you combine response time and input lag, you're definitely getting a great experience. Speaking of input lag, LG OLEDs can go down to 5 milliseconds input lag on 120 Hz and 10 milliseconds on 60 Hz when you are gaming, while LCD TVs can be up to 16 milliseconds. So if you're looking for a really great competitive gaming TV, this is definitely it. Also, because you have near instant response time, you don't have to worry about anything like ghosting or inverse ghosting that has plagued a lot of conventional LCD TVs over the years. Because of this, a game genre that was buttery smooth on the OLED was FPS games like Call of Duty and Battlefield. For many of the same reasons I just mentioned with VRR engaged, I was ensured to have a really smooth experience. LG OLED supports all forms of VRR, whether it's G-Sync support or FreeSync support. You're covered across the board. Oh yeah, and remember how in the beginning of the video I was talking about that competitive advantage that you could get when gaming on this TV? Well, check this out. LG's OLEDs in 2021 have a new feature called Game Optimizer. And this is not only a cool feature that features a really awesome interface with useful information about your game, but it also gives you the ability to raise your black and white levels individually. I use this to see into the shadows, like corners of games where you would often miss enemies. So little Johnny Corner Camper thinks I don't see him, but thanks to this technology, I do. Also, within the Game Optimizer, you have a game genre selection, and you can go through different picture modes. And here's a tip. You could actually use these and pretty much make your own preset for your favorite games. How cool is that? I love the customization of my picture quality in games. I also have to mention that LG OLED has HDR games covered. HGIG is something that I highly recommend using for a lot of games, and for games coming out later on down the line, LG has us set up for the future with Dolby Vision gaming with both 60Hz and 120Hz dedicated Dolby Vision game modes for low latency, which I think is absolutely incredible, and I can't wait until Halo Infinite comes out because Dolby Vision always has some great colors. Speaking of colors, they are pretty good and pretty accurate out of the box. You are getting some really rich colors. Check out this comparison that I have in Outriders on the Xbox Series X next to the same LCD that you saw earlier. You could see that the OLED's colors and depth really are coming to life in this scene more than I saw on the LCD. Now I really can't forget to talk about movies and TV as well. For me, movies, there is no better TV in a completely dark room than an OLED. I love how the black bars on movies completely disappear and blend into the wall, so you really just forget that they're even there. It's a very immersive experience, especially on a big screen. If you couple that with the amazing colors that you get with Dolby Vision, you're gonna love movies on an OLED, and trust me, for movies, an OLED is tough to beat. Now, another thing that I really like about LG OLED that I don't really see on other TVs is the reduced blue light feature. This option can really come in handy for longer gaming sessions to avoid eye strain, or just put it on while you're trying to get yourself to wind down and go to sleep. I really think this is the perfect nighttime TV. So, what do you guys think about OLED technology? Are you guys thinking about buying an OLED anytime soon? Let me know in the comments below. Or if you already have an OLED, tell me your favorite feature about that OLED TV in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. It's going to help out the channel a lot. And if you want to see more content in the future, please consider subscribing. If you want to learn more about LG's Game Optimizer and how to set it up, make sure you check out this video right here. Thanks again to LG for sponsoring this video, and thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.